Hello, welcome back. Yeah, here we go. Michael Jackson Thriller. One step, MoFi, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. Yeah, of course you can imagine, very special edition for me. Those of you who follow my channel through this year knows that this is of course not a video like any video else, because this thriller started quite something. I don't want to go into the details, but I'm of course very eager to do this one. Now it's here, now I could compare it and give you my opinion, and I will talk about how I will go on with MoFi, how I handle their new releases, because this of course plays a big role in that, and we go through it. Yeah, for this video I did quite some comparisons. I managed to get a Japanese original. I've managed to get this digital master sound edition. I have no mistakes. I have the German first pressing. I have the American first pressing, and I have a second American pressing. I went through all of those and did the comparison, but before we go into it, let's just talk about the packaging and production value of MoFi's one-step release. You know, here in Germany, this is with shipping roughly 150 to 155 euro edition. So it's on the high-priced side of things. But yeah, that's as it is nowadays. We get the usual stuff when it comes to the release. We get the gatefold, you know, originally it has been a gatefold. We get here our replica repress of it. We get the original inner sleeves, nice, and then we get the inner jacket of the box set in a typical one-step manner. Then we get something I really do like. This is a second protection sleeve. Within the jacket here is the vinyl on the typical super vinyl, the semi-transparent vinyl. We have a 33 and a 3rd edition here, and we get a different outer box, let's say it that way. They changed the design. I have no idea, maybe if you have heard something about it, if this is now the way they ship their one-step, or if they have done it just for the Michael Jackson Thriller. It's way thinner, which of course a lot of you may prefer due to the less shelf space it takes. On the other hand, if you have the collection and then suddenly they change the package design, for me that's a problem when it comes to aesthetics of a whole series. But okay, what can you do? They did a decent job. It's okay. It is not it is less prone to these fingerprints, you know, which is of course a welcome thing. Yeah, I just see it. Here you can see it's limited to 40,000 copies. Yeah, that's what caused it all in a way. So they have to come clear after, I think, 15 years. I don't know how long. Yeah, okay, that's the package, which is totally okay. Totally okay, despite the fact that I like the coherency when it comes to those series, but okay. And then I already showed you which editions I do now the comparison. And to keep things a bit simpler, I go now through a bit through the editions I have next to the MoFi. And this was also the way I did it. I first listened to those editions. And although the Japanese original is totally okay and a good sounding version, I didn't like this master sound version that much. So in a way, the three best one of those have been the German first, the American first, and the American second. The very best of those, in my opinion, is the original American release, which can identify, there is only 2 lines when it comes to producing. Michael Jackson is not mentioned as a co-producer, which changed, I think, quite fast. So this, the Bernie Grundman cut, did it through this pack of releases, you know. I've never been such a huge fan of this album. When it came out, I remember it was almost molesting because I heard it, Billie Jean, everywhere. And at that time I thought, my God, this is so uncool. But of course, like so often in lifetime, that changed a bit. I'm still not the biggest Michael Jackson fan. Other things comes into play when it is about Michael Jackson, of course. But still, also musically, I now like it when I'm in the right mood. It's a very danceable. The groove is of course fantastic, and so it also, like in many cases, like with the Smiths, for example, it really grew on me. And of course, it's also the time of my youth, and remember the moments when you've heard it, when you didn't like it, but what happens with the guys and the girls you have been together at that time. This, of course, helps. So it was not a pain to go through all these albums like it would have been 3 decades, 4 decades almost earlier. 4? No, 3. Sorry. And yeah, very interesting to do. And I have to say, the Bernie Grundman cut, the American first pressing, it's an amazing sounding album. It is. It's rhythm, dance, groove, pure. And then I went to the next phase, to the next step, and compared the MoFi one step against the American first pressing. And that was interesting, really interesting. Those versions are really different. They are really different. What you have on the good side of the MoFi one step is that it opens up a bit, and you have every now and then some details which are hidden in a way, or not so right to the face on the Bernie Grundman cut. There might be different reasons for that. Maybe, yeah, due to the production process, maybe compression, maybe, or maybe even a decision, because Bernie Grundman went for a certain sound. MoFi took a different approach. They tried to make it more detailed and more spacey in a way. But that is the positive thing I can say about it. On the other hand, the MoFi one step compared to the Bernie Grundman, and even compared to the German first pressing, compared to the American second pressing, compared to the Japanese OG. It lost so much, and it really goes, it really goes downhill from song to song in a way, because the first song is in a way the most coherent, but then it loses so much of this groove and spirit that this is a very interesting decision they took over at MoFi. I have no idea why they in a way they didn't orientate it. They took no orientation from the original in my mind, in my opinion, because they are really different, and they didn't do a good job. Because what is this album? This album is a dance album. This album is not an audiophile album where you sit in your chair and listen to it like a jazz album. It's different. It has to have a certain mood. This, you know it. You know what I'm talking about. And this they took away. This is an astonishing decision. So on that part, I am very, very disappointed with this release, which of course makes it now way easier to me to say, MoFi, sorry, I'm out. You know, we have a very expensive record. We have quite often everything but good jackets, lackluster jackets. Just put it into something that is almost like the original, but don't do too much. We don't have them analog. They lied to us for over a decade. In most cases, so far, there will be, and I will do that with the ones I have, so far the originals have been better than them. And this is not such a cool package overall. And then you see the titles they announced, most of them I have in different versions. Others, I mean Van Halen, another Joni Mitchell, I don't know. Not such a hot topic, and so I've decided for the time being, I'm out. This whole concept, this whole package, no. There are so beautiful editions out there. There are so many cool OGs out there, and for me, it just makes more sense to put my money on those. I don't see so many reasons to stick with them. Of course, some of those would make interesting videos. Yeah, maybe the Eagles, Hotel California, of course. Maybe this might be an exception, but on the other hand, yeah, we will see. But in a way, I'm out. I'm out of this. And if I compare, for example, and I think when it comes to the status, this is even bigger in a way. If I compare now the first Steely Dan to the Michael Jackson Thriller, on the Steely Dan I can see what is possible. And again, they didn't deliver. I think there is, if they do it right, if they do it with passion, if there for sure is more possible. The OG shows it. The OG is so much warmer, so much more vinyl, so much more Michael Jackson Thriller. And no, there is a point where I say, no, I don't accept that anymore. Sorry for being that blunt, and probably it's also not a surprise, but no. This is, in a way, I paid $150 for it. This is not acceptable in a way. And so this decision, or otherwise, let me put it otherwise. I really want to be open and fair here. This encourages me for my decision not to go into MoFi anymore. That being said, lost chance on one of the most important albums, lost chance on the most selling album of all time. I think no album has sold more copies up until today. Or did Elton John but to my knowledge, this is the most selling album. Yeah, I'm still, you know, I really had high hopes, and maybe they did it because up front I've heard only good things, but no, I can't confirm that. And I'm still, yeah, in a way I'm a bit stunned. I really expected it to be that it would be a bit better. Yeah, that's how it is. What did I forget? Did I forget anything? If not, let's close this chapter now. Let's end this video. And like always, I thank you very much for your time, and I see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.